Is the founder and president of Eye on the Scene. She was at that White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend. She's here tonight to talk about it. She brought me the program. There's wine stains, so that means you had a good time.
I did.
All right. Welcome to the show. So this is great because I want to get this is insight from somebody who was there. First of all, before you went in the room, before we knew what Michelle Wolf was going to say, what is the tone and tenor? And a lot of us, I watched it on CNN, C-SPAN, it's on, but what is the tone in that room? Is it a serious group? What's going on?
No, actually, it was very lighthearted and very festive. They were there to have fun. They were dressed up and they were ready to party.
And so they sat down, lovely meal. I read the menu, monkfish and filet and all sorts of things. You were right there with them, right?
Yes.
Having that meal. So then let me also ask you, this is the kind of stuff we just don't get on TV. The conversation during dinner. Is it politics? Is it Trump talk? Does anybody let their views be known when you're amongst those folks?
Not really. Everybody was not talking politics. They were very lighthearted. They were talking amongst themselves and just having a good time.
Now you are a kind of a social media reporter. That's what we know you for. When you're at the event, you're looking at things, not necessarily the politics. So I understand that. But I do know you talked to a lot of folks there. So one Andrea Mitchell is there, I know, and I know you spoke with her. Did she sort of leak to you what she anticipated would happen that night?
She was very anxious about the entertainment of the evening. Afterwards, she was not happy at all. She thought it was very crass, very unprofessional, backstabbing, and very unnecessary.
The evening actually went on for 4 hours. People watching it on TV would have thought this was a half-an-hour event with 20 minutes of it being Michelle Wolf's monologue. It's actually a very small piece of a very long evening. So for the rest of the evening, where scholarships are presented, where awards are presented to journalists, where the theme of the evening was honoring the First Amendment, can you give us a sense, was that 15-minute Michelle Wolf monologue sort of an isolated moment in an otherwise different toned evening?
Yes. The tone before that was very friendly, open, and people were talking and they were having a good time. As soon as she walked on with her first comment, everybody did not know what to do. After several of her comments were delivered, people didn't know whether to smile or get up and walk out of the room. So they had very quizzical looks on their face.
Actually, her second comment, I'm pretty sure it was the second comment, was, you should have done your homework before you invited me to do this.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know, were you familiar with her, Michelle Wolf?
I was a little, not to the degree that I saw that night. But that's who she is.
Did you get a sense that the correspondents in that room, because you know some of them kind of older, I think Michelle Wolf appeals to maybe a younger crowd, did they know what they were in for, or did people have a look of surprise on their face?
I think they were totally shocked. I do not think they knew what to expect.
And then they got it. So again, as you're sitting there and you're hearing her, what I was going to say was, yeah, as I said, her second line was, I think you should have done your homework. So you're at the table, you're with journalists sitting at the table, and you said there's a look of shock, but I'm just curious, did anybody say anything at the table as you were saying, well, I can't believe what I'm hearing? Where is she going? Or did you see smiles? Did you see people sort of smiling but not wanting to smile? What was your tone? You got to write about that, right? We're going to read about it in your column. What was the tone of the room?
I think the tone of the room was shock. I do not think that they enjoyed listening to her comments. Most of the comments that were being made about her were not favorable, and they were not having a good time after that.
Did you get, this may be an unfair question, there were certainly conservative journalists there were liberal journalists there, you may or may not know who's what along the way, and journalists don't often want you to know what they are, but were you able to pinpoint what we're hearing a lot in the media, which is liberals seem to be comfortable with it, conservatives were angry at it? Did you have any sense of that, or were you unable to tell?
I was unable to tell, actually. I really was.
Okay, and then let me ask you this, just kind of a response, because part of what you do in your column or in your website, actually, which people can go to, I've gone to that, it's also cover all sorts of social